Hello, welcome to another taste challenge this morning. You say, not more scotch. No, no. Beer. We have from 1844, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Now you say, look at that weird label. Yeah, I just bought this at Food for Less. It was $4.81 for the 6-pack of pint cans. Some kind of artistic thing. Original Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. It's best by June 10th, 2019. Canned and produced in Fort Worth, Texas, apparently. F04, that's Fort Worth. On a Saturday. I believe that would be produced on a Saturday. But anyway, it's fresh. This is their artistic series. You might be familiar. 473 milliliter cans. 473 milliliter cans. 6 of these cans, $4.81 plus tax. I noticed that people like Blue Nose Beer Reviews, Harry Meadows, they get these beers over there in England, but they're in Dean's Beer Reviews and all them. But it's, and some other guys, they reviewed them, but it's 4.6 there. It's 4.74 here. Slightly different recipe here. So there it is. Since 1844, Pabst Blue Ribbon. I'm going to drink some Heineken. Forget that. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Now, here's an old bottle from 1996. This is what it used to look like. Pabst Blue Ribbon. And this bottle had a ribbon on it, a paper ribbon, which I rumpled. But that's the paper ribbon. It's actual ribbon. Paper. And that's one of those old squat neck bottles, you know, the short neck bottles. Pabst Blue Ribbon 12-ounce bottle. Oh, these used to be like $2.99 a 6-pack. I'm not joking. Versus Busch beer. Busch beer, introduced in 1955 in the United States, is 4.3% alcohol. It's 4.7 in Canada. In other parts of the world, it might even be like 5%. Like in Taiwan, I think one of the viewers, 1977 Future, was telling me that. I got to dust these bottles so bad. I can't wait to break out that feather duster and start dusting. I mean, I can't wait. I'm going to do it, though, but I hate to do it. It's tedious, but I'm going to do it. This is the 1996 United States Olympics commemorative bottle embossed with the Olympic seal. Busch beer, born of natural ingredients, smooth, refreshing beer, natural aging, natural carbonation. So it's not forced carbonation, at least then. Natural aging. I like the old labels, really, the classic gold rimmed. I like those with the 1990s horizontal stripes, you know. The mountains of Busch. Head to the mountains of Busch beer, because you know St. Louis is full of the Rocky Mountains. You've been to St. Louis, Missouri. You've seen all the Rocky Mountains there. Brewed from water, barley malt, cereal grains, which are corn and rice, and corn syrup, hops, and yeast. The 110th day of 1996. Oh, the 110th day of 1996. What were you doing in 1996? All right. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Let's see. Does it have a date, guys? Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Tumwater, Washington. Golly, this is when the Milwaukee Brewery was still open before they closed that down. I remember that. That was in the paper. Newspaper. I was like, are they crazy? But they did it. It wasn't making money. I think they had union problems. All right. 354 milliliters, 12 ounces. Huh. Not 355, 354. Okay. I should be able to tell these apart because Pabst has that strange winey flavor, you know. I remember, I think the union told Pabst something like, if we don't get this raise, we're going on strike. We'll show you. And Pabst was like, we're barely even making any money. If you go on strike, the whole company. I remember, I think the union told, I forgot to put on mute. Pabst was saying, we barely even making any money. If you go on strike, the whole company's going to shut down. And then the union bosses were like, we're going to squeeze you. We'll show you we're for the people. So then they shut the whole brewery down, and all the workers had no job. You say, yeah, but the union bosses, they had a good retirement. And I think that's what counts. When you think of trade unions, that's what matters. As long as the bosses get their retirement, I think we all agree that's what really matters. I mean, you might be out of a job and the factory shuts down, but you showed them, brother. You showed them, comrade. We hate the boss. We hate the man. Even though he did give you a job where you don't really work that hard, get all these benefits, get all these vacation days. Where did you learn to hate the man? They told us about that in a meeting, man. I'm going to bust your face open. I'm going to break your neck. That's what freedom's about. Breaking your neck if you stand up and question my motives. Because I'm a union guy. That's what freedom's about. Hooliganism, breaking stuff and hurting people. I grew up in Chicago. I know about breaking heads. I know about busting people in the mouth. That's what America was built on, man. Sabotaging the factory. Oh, I was confused. I'm sorry. I thought it was about making money and working cooperatively from owner to employee, trying to make the best of a situation. No, man, it's about hatred. Flannel shirts and hurting people. Okay, all right, I was confused. I didn't know. I have this weird, different outlook. Sorry. You don't listen to enough Bruce Springsteen, punk. That's true. I don't listen to any Bruce Springsteen. In fact, you don't listen to enough John Cougar Mellencamp, punk. All right. Okay. Alex the Beer Master says, good morning, Ryan. Hey, good morning to you, Alex. No, I'm just kidding around. I knew a guy who was like a big-time union guy over at Shell Refinery. He was pretty militant. He liked to fight, too. Didn't take a lot of motivation. You didn't have to. But to be fair, his motto was violence first. And he was a Vietnam veteran. He was on an aircraft carrier out in the Gulf, kind of taking it easy, but technically he gets to wear that little hat, you know. I said, what was it like being out there? He said, it was quiet. It was kind of relaxing. Pretty easy. That's the kind of guys I like to see in the grocery store. The Vietnam veterans that were on an aircraft carrier in the Gulf of Tonkin taking it easy. You know what I mean? I was there in Vietnam. I know one guy, he's still alive. He said he was embarrassed to be a World War II veteran. I said, why is that? He said, oh, they told me I could wear a ribbon. I'm a veteran in World War II. I said, what did you do in World War II? He said, oh, I worked in an office on Canal Street, New Orleans. Doing paperwork. He's a short, little, small guy. He said the Army looked at me and like, you're going to work in an office. He was like, I didn't protest. But he said it was comical because he got this World War II service medal. He's like, what kind of danger is that, working in an office? I mean, it was a dreadful job because he had to send out letters to people. Dear Mrs. Smith, the President of the United States and the Secretary of War send their worst regards on the death of your son in this war. You know, that kind of stuff. We honor his service. I mean, you know, he was writing the letter. It was just a standard form letter. So it was kind of bad. He said he felt kind of guilty. You know, he's sitting in an office writing letters all day and everybody else on the battlefield in World War II. He said he felt guilty. He didn't feel too guilty. You know, he wasn't begging him to go to the battlefront. He just felt a little guilty. All right. Hey, Ron, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Said Alex. Oh, bowl of cereal with milk, one of those multigrain cereals, which I got on sale for 99 cents because it expired. But if you watch CBS News, they talk about expiration dates. Two Throat says, good morning, fellow Knight. Good morning to you, brother Knight. I think Pabst is going to win because it has a little more character and it's a little cheaper, and Busch is kind of bland. I was watching that British, I can't remember his name. He was a British guy. He was saying, man, this stuff's more gold than you would expect. It's not just like yellow fizzy stuff. It's like gold. It has some color. And he had bought this draft pack of Pabst, like, you know, this keg, 5-liter keg of Pabst in a can, you know, the metal keg. And it was 4.6 in England. But he was saying, man, for £8, that's not bad. What is that in American money? Like $10? I mean, I'd buy that. Wouldn't you buy that? He was like, they had a special. I bought it. He was talking about how good it was. He was like, well, you know, it's not all this intricate craft beer flavor. But he was drinking it, and he was like, it is pretty good, though. And that's contract brewed over there in Scotland. This just tastes like Pabst. But this is initial. These things can be tough now. The aromas are so bland, and you really can't get much out of the aroma. Oh, that's so thin and watery. That's got to be Busch. I didn't say it tasted bad. I said it was thin and watery. Did you hear the word bad come out of my mouth? Except in reference to what I wasn't saying? No, you did not. This was my problem with people in the past, like when they would write beer reviews. Let's say they would review a beer like Pabst. Instead of saying something like, well, it's kind of bland, it's not too much to it, but it's drinkable, it's all right, fine. No, to get on Rate Beer and Beer Advocate talking about this is horrible, it tastes like diesel and urine and horse piss and all of this, and they go on and on. I'd rather drink water. I'd rather drink urine than Pabst Blue Ribbon, and they give it a 1 out of 100. You're gonna rate beer, I don't know, it's like a 1 out of 100. That means it's 99% bad and it's 1% good. Can you imagine what it would really taste like if it was a true one? I drank Camo and I dumped that against the fence. I slung that against the fence, and I was cursing it on video. But even Camo ain't no 1 out of 100. Even Camo has some redeeming qualities. There aren't many. And really, the thing about Camo is just too strong. It's 14% alcohol. It's a booze bomb. But I mean, people buy it. It sells. Not around here. We get Four Loko and Earthquake around here. Earthquake high gravity 10%. That's really not bad. I don't drink it. It's too strong. It makes my bones hurt. It's like deadly. I mean, why would you drink a whole? But I know a guy that's a bulk merchandiser for Anheuser-Busch, for Southern Eagle. And he's like, when I get off of work, I'll drink a can of Earthquake high gravity. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not going to say his name, but I said, wait a minute. Hold on. You get off of work and you buy a can of Earthquake and go home and drink that? He's like, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, his tolerance must be incredible. I was like, I'd be sick, He's like, oh, you're weak. I'll admit that. How he drinks that, And then he'll say, I drink Four Loko, that silver and blue, whatever it's called, blueberry, artificial blueberry flavor, 14%. Four Loko Frost, whatever. I don't know. They got all these things. I never drink that stuff. I'm like, man, how do you? I don't call him man. I call him his name, but I'm trying to cover for him. I was like, how do you drink that? But even Four Loko Gold, which is a nightmare of my existence, that's no 1 out of 100. Come on, that is not a 1 out of 100. I mean, people got to get some perspective over here. If you want to get on the internet and talk about, well, I never drink Budweiser. I drink real beer. I drink craft beer. It's way better. Fine, that's good. You should do that. I drink craft beer like practically every day of my life. But don't get on there talking about Budweiser is trash and you'd rather drink horse urine and it's a 0 out of 100. I mean, some of these beers like Natural Ice gets an NA out of 100 on Rate Beer. Not a zero in NA. That means it's so low it couldn't even score a zero. That means it's less than a zero. Come on. You're gonna drink a natural ice and tell me it's a less than a zero? Are you serious? I'm not here to do a rant and rave, but I mean, I get sick of that kind of stuff. You know, it's like people go too far with all that. It kind of like discredits the whole craft beer movement. Yeah, that's the problem right there when you call it a movement. Yeah, it's a movement because they're moving it into the store and you're buying it. You say, I got a deal because I only paid $8.99 for one little 12-ounce bottle. Yeah, you got a deal. It's a movement. But it's about the man. It's about fighting the man, man. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm the dummy. All right. Thanks. Unearthly Zodiac says hello. Hello, Unearthly Zodiac. I appreciate you watching. I barely sipped these and smelled them. I'm telling you right now, this is Pabst Blue Ribbon, and it's way better than Busch. You say that's hipster. I don't care if every hipster on earth drinks it and bathes in it. It's way better than Busch. How often do you go in a bar and see Busch beer anyway? They probably were drinking Pabst because it's in bars and it was cheap. So it became a hipster beer. I went to Denver, Colorado in 1999, and they had imperial pints of Pabst Blue Ribbon for $1. That bar was down the street and around the corner from the Greyhound bus station. Yeah, I took a Greyhound out west. $1. He said that was a hobo bar. It was. Wasn't terrible, though. I drank 2 imperial pints for $1 each. Hey, I was riding the bus. No big deal. I'm not talking about 16-ounce glass. I'm talking about way bigger than that. But it was great. It was on draft. It was so good. But you're going to give it an NA out of 100, a 1 out of 100. Okay. Now you might say, I ain't hanging out with you. Can I count on that? All right. I'm going to tell you why Busch is better. I'm going to tell you why Pabst Blue Ribbon is better. It has that Carlsberger yeast, that secret thing, whatever. It gives it that winey flavor. I used to not like that. When I first tried Pabst Blue Ribbon in 1996, 97, it tasted like strange, like, because I used to drink wine before I drank beer, and I was like, what is this? It's like sherry or port. It's like, what is this? But then I said, oh, yeah, it's kind of good. You know, it's got some character. I like it now. Agreed, says Two Throat. People are not open-minded, but closed-minded and go with what I guess the cool people drink. I don't know. Yeah, it's sort of that. I don't know. People are really closed-minded. Not everybody, because some people are open-minded, and they'll entertain different ideas, alternative thinking, you know. Unearthly Zodiac says, I like Miller High Life over Pabst. Well, I'm not sure in my case. I'm going to do a taste challenge to be sure. Busch is good. I like Busch. But it's no Pabst. It's too thin. The flavor is too muted. It just tastes bland. Now you say, well, I'm from Canada. I know some of these viewers are going to say, I'm from Canada, and in Saskatchewan, we get it, and it's 4.7. It's way better. I know, but I'm not in Saskatchewan. I can't get it. I'm talking about the American Pabst, the 4.3. If I went to Canada, would I buy Pabst? Yeah. Would I try it? Yeah. I bought a 12-ounce bottle of Milwaukee's Best in Canada, in Quebec, in the year 2000. I didn't keep it, though, because I purged my collection of foreign beers. Yeah, it was pretty good, and it tasted a little different than the American Milwaukee's Best. And my thinking, it was different. There was something different about it. Something different. It was probably contract brewed in Canada. It was cheap. Wasn't a lot. I bought some corn chips too at that grocery store, and nobody could speak English. I was asking a girl, "How much are these corn chips?" And she's like, "I don't speak." She couldn't even say, "I don't speak English" in English. She was like, "Pourquoi le fleur?" You know. I was like, "Okay." I pointed to the digital readout on the register. How much is this? Oh, oui, monsieur. It's cheap. Whatever. All right. Where's Clint Eastwood? I don't know. He's in Malibu, California, I guess. I don't know. All right. Oh. I mean, this is a joke. This is a real joke. I didn't even think it was going to be a joke. I thought it was going to be kind of a challenge, but Pabst Blue Ribbon is destroying Busch. And I'm sorry, Busch fans. And I like Busch, and I drink it. I'm not against Busch. I would love to drink draft Busch, which I've never had. I love it. I wouldn't pay $9 for a pint can like I saw at Busch Stadium. I said, damn, the tickets were $9. I'm gonna pay $9 because you can get really good ticket specials at these major league ballparks if you're careful about it. Most people aren't, so they don't know about it. They don't know about the ticket specials, so they just don't get them. But I do, and I do know about them, and I do get them. But like getting a $5 ticket at the Miami Marlins to sit right behind the third base. Oh, I'm sorry, first base bullpen. True story. $5. My favorite beer is Miller Genuine Draft. Oh yeah, that's a good one. But I mean, I wouldn't pay $9 for a pint can like at Busch Stadium, which I thought the people were crazy to do that. I was like, why would you do that? Why would you pay $9 for a can of Busch beer when you could go to the grocery store and get a whole 6-pack for like $5? I would never do. I'll just drink water. I don't care. I'll drink water. I'll just drink water. I mean, I like beer. I like to drink it. I don't care about it. I'm gonna go watch the game and I'll drink water. You know, I'll be very happy drinking water, or I'll buy some coffee for $2.50 and I'll be very happy drinking coffee. And then I'll go back to the hotel after the game and maybe I'll drink beer. Maybe I'll just go to sleep. I don't have to have it. You say, no, you got to have it. You're a drunk. You have to have it. No, I don't have to have it. You have to have it. I don't have to have it. I'm getting a kegerator set up for Miller Genuine Draft. That's a good idea. All right. Well, Busch has a lot of good flavor. It does have good flavor. It's sweet. It's not too sweet. It's got grain. It's got some hops just for balancing. It's not hoppy beer by any stretch of the imagination. But it has some character, and I like it. I mean, I really like Busch. I really like Busch beer. Yep, Busch beer. B. But it's no Pabst. It can't compete. It just can't. Pabst Blue Ribbon is way better than Busch. I'm sorry. Even Coors Banquet is pretty good too. Oh yeah, Coors Banquet is a great beer. Actually, it's a legend. So I'm putting on my Pabst hat. You win, Pabst Blue Ribbon. You win decisively. I mean, it was a joke. Yeah, I have more than one Pabst hat. You know that. Hold on. All right. You might be saying, you're stupid and I hate you because Pabst Blue Ribbon is garbage. And if you like Pabst Blue Ribbon, you're an idiot and you like garbage. Okay, well then good. I like garbage because this is great garbage. First of all, Pabst Blue Ribbon has never been and is not now garbage. Could it be in the future? I don't know. Yeah, I guess. It's a very good beer. I've been drinking it since 1996, 23 years, and I love it. It's a great beer. If I had to drink Pabst Blue Ribbon every day for the rest of my life, would I get tired of it? No. I would get enthusiastic about it every time I had to drink it. Okay, y'all, it's time to get nice. It's great. It's not even a good beer. It's a great beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon is a great beer. Let me put this back up. I'm going to tell you why. There's so many qualities with Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's like you got to really think about these. Like Busch beer goes good with food, says Unearthly Zodiac. Oh boy, does it. I think Pabst has more of a following because it's older. I think it has a better flavor. Like Now, do I miss some of the Pabst beers? Oh, yeah. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Like, well, first I'll describe this beer. You have that Carlsberger yeast that gives it that wine flavor. To me, it's like it's not cream sherry. It's like, you say wine, like, it's like, maybe that Taylor Golden Sherry or the Fairbanks cocktail sherry. I don't know, something. It's some kind of wine. Some kind of sherry wine or something. But it's distinct. Like I don't see how you would ever confuse Pabst Blue Ribbon with another beer. Oh yeah, you say, oh yeah, you got to do taste challenges. I know, don't I? Now, cereal grain. It's like cold cereal grain. It's so round. The hops. It's not a hoppy beer. I mean, only a fool would say that. But it's round. It's a very round beer, but it's got that distinct Carlsberger yeast that gives it that wine quality. It's got a medium body and a fairly crisp finish. I love it. It's a fabulous beer. Now, I know Tom the Beer Whisperer, we were talking about that one night, and I was talking about how to use corn syrup. Then he was off on a rant for like a year, like years, and he was saying, I don't like it because he used corn syrup. I don't like you because he used corn syrup. And I was telling him, I was like, well, a lot of beers use corn syrup. I don't even understand what you're talking about. I was telling him that. I was like, well, that's not really that unusual. I mean, everybody uses corn syrup in the beer industry. This is not novel. This is not unusual. But he got fixated on it or something, you know. But he don't want to talk to me anyway. So even though he gave me two nicknames, the Raging Cajun, even though my heritage is mostly Germanic, and he said I was Mr. Information. Well, maybe. Here's to Pabst Blue Ribbon is what my stepdad wants for his birthday every year. 4-pint cans for him is an easy gift. If my stepdaddy, I don't actually have a stepfather. If my father, it's like, okay. If my father wanted beer for his birthday and he liked Pabst Blue Ribbon, I would buy him like a case of it, a 30-pack, but you know, he's not a step. If he was a stepfather, I might buy him a 4-pack. I don't know. I don't know about all those. I don't know those protocols. I don't understand those protocols. You know what I mean? All right. Most of my family, they don't want anything. They're like me. People ask me, what do you want for your birthday? And I tell them nothing. I don't need anything. I have everything I need. All right. Here's a very interesting product. Pabst Genuine Draft. You know they got sued, or at least they got a cease and desist notice. I saw this in Grand Isle, Louisiana in 1997. Look at that ribbed can. This was the thing in like 1995, 96, 97, where every can had to have this like corrugated, look like a tin roof. And every company all of a sudden made a gold with a black band and red and white trimmed beer called Genuine Draft. And Miller went like crazy. You know, Miller went crazy with, we will sue you. And so then all of a sudden you would see these beers and they would never be shown again. There was Pabst Genuine Draft. Was it as good as Miller Genuine Draft? Yeah, it was. It was cold filtered. I think the problem was that it really wasn't that difficult to cold filter beer without pasteurizing it. And Miller made it seem like they had bankrupted their company to cold filter beer. And then it turned out it really wasn't that difficult. So everybody wanted to make a genuine draft beer. And then by around the year 2000, everybody realized it ain't really that better. So why am I paying $2 more a 6-pack for beer that's marginally better than pasteurized beer? And so the sales for genuine draft beer started to tail off. And now look, How many people make cold filtered beer? Miller makes genuine draft, and they have to almost bribe people to buy it. In most cases, I buy it. I understand. You know, I'm part of. I get it. I get it. Most people don't. There is Busch. There is Bud Ice, which is cold filtered. It's a draft beer. Now, here's people tell me, how come Busch? They say, how come Bud Ice is a little better than the other ice beers? I say, well, all the other ice beers are pasteurized, and Bud Ice is cold filtered. It's draft. Oh, they say, oh, right. Now, '07, that's 1997, the 96th day. Okay, 96th day of 1997. That sounds about right. I bought it in Grand Isle at Safeway. It was cheap. I mean, you know what I mean. I bought a 12-pack for $3.99. I mean, I'm serious. It was good. It was good, but you never saw it again. Then the same day, you know, I bought Pabst Ice. Pabst Ice. Oh, bazam, Pabst Ice beer. Because if you remember, some of you guys are like my age, 50 years old, whatever. You remember when you were 25 years old, everybody wanted to run out and buy ice beer. You know those days 25 years ago, everybody's like, we got to go buy ice beer. Oh, yeah, baby. And so everybody made ice beer all of a sudden. And then that faded, and now, you know, you get your few little ice beers. Okay, Zach Robinson says, Pabst Blue Ribbon is what my, oh, yeah, he said that. All right. Kyle Reynard says, is Pabst Easy any good? Yes. Pabst Easy is very good, and my friend David is a big fan. But we're here in the New Orleans area waiting on Pabst Extra. Myself, David, he gave up alcohol, all alcohol for Lent. For Lent. I said, you mean, he was saying, on Sunday I'll drink. I said, okay. Then he said, no, I'm going all in. I'm going to give up drinking totally for Lent. No drinking between Ash Wednesday and Easter Sunday. I said, oh, can it happen? Can it be done? He said, I'm making it. I said, well, that's admirable. I gave up. I don't want to get into Cheyenne. That's a little North Carolina cigar company. Let's forget that. So we're waiting on Pabst Extra, 6.5%. You know we're waiting on that. Now, he says, is Pabst Easy? But we really liked Pabst Easy. It's one of the better light beers we ever had. Yes. Scruffy's a janitor. Says even gold and black. Right. I can show you a number of these. It's not just Pabst genuine draft. Let's see. Put this back. Yeah, it's like everybody had to make a light. I mean, everybody had to make a genuine draft in the mid-90s. We have, do you think that Miller Lite is the best light beer, says Unearthly Zodiac? No, I do not. Do you drink light beer at all? No, unless I'm doing a taste challenge, I don't drink light beer. All right, I drink malt liquor, though. Always malt liquor. Look at this. Hamm's Genuine Draft. Yeah, you know, gold, black, and red, and white trim. Same old thing. This was like really questionable. Cold filtered. Well, they did it. Hamm's did it, meaning Pabst did it, because Pabst owned Hamm's. Yeah, I bought this in the south suburbs of Chicago. Yeah, I was on the Dixie Highway. Yeah, I went to see the Chicago White Sox 11 times. But when I wasn't at the stadium, I was driving around buying stuff. Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Tumwater, Washington. Interestingly, neither one of those breweries are in operation today, except in Milwaukee, they have their little showcase brewery. 116th day of 20. 116th day of 1996. Yeah, baby. I bought that Hamm's Genuine Draft. It was remarkably similar to Miller Genuine Draft. But then they got that cease and desist letter, and all of a sudden it was Hamm's Golden Draft. And then Miller bought it, and then it was no longer in existence. They still make Hamm's, but like I tell people, I miss the Hamm's Golden Draft, Genuine Draft. That was the good one, the Hamm's Golden Draft. That was the good one. That was the good one. That was the good one. I got 2 cans. I got the Genuine Draft and the Golden Draft. You'll never see that. It gets worse. Yeah, I was up there in got some left. I was up there in where was I? I was in La Crosse, Wisconsin, because we made this road trip where we were going to drive up US Highway 61 from the bottom, New Orleans, to the top, Minnesota, and into Canada. And so I said, oh yeah, let's buy beer on the way. And of course, other people were like, yeah, let's do that. So when we were in La Crosse, I bought a whole bunch of stuff, not just this. But this is G. Heilemann Brewing, and it's called Old Style Classic Draft Cold Brewed Cold Filter, Cool Brewed Cold Filtered Beer. This is not a joke. This is a real beer. Old Style, Heilemann's Old Style Classic Draft Cool Brewed Cold Filtered Beer. Yeah, you know, gold, black, white, red trim. They're all trying to capitalize on Miller Genuine Draft. Yeah, they got sued. Yeah, it disappeared after a few months. Same old story. Was it good? Yeah, it was just as good as Miller Genuine Draft. Because like I said, these companies found out it was really not that hard to brew beer with a cold filtering process. Did I buy a 6-pack? You know I did. Did I drink it all? You know I did. Did I share it? You know I did. Did other people like it? Most of my friends are light beer drinkers, so anything that's stronger than Miller Lite, they think is nasty because they got no taste. All right. It goes on and on. I could just go on forever because I always just buy beer and talk about it. I mean, I can show you some Pabst Brewing beers that will make you catch a stroke, make you fall down and wrap yourself naked in a sheet and drink all night listening to the Carpenters because you don't have the can. I could really do that to you because I've been to Canal Street. I've been down into New Orleans. I've been into those obscure liquor stores. I've bought the 6-packs. I bought them. I got them. I drank them. You don't have them. If I showed you, you will cry. I can make you cry on the internet, but I'm not going to do that. But I could show you and you would burst into tears. I burst into tears when I saw them on the shelf. I went into that store on Canal Street and I was like, I was telling my friend Rob, who didn't care at all, because he has zero interest in beer, aside from drinking it like a consumer product, you know, like normal people. So I went into that store on Canal Street in 1997. I was like, look at this on the shelf. It says Pabst. I gotta buy it. He's looking at me like, you got problems. I'm like, yeah, my problems are beer related. Anyway, what were they thinking? Still the same color scheme in the process. Oh yeah, it's a joke. Do you think? Okay. So anyway, if I showed you those ones that I bought down in New Orleans, you would give up. You wouldn't care anymore. You would give up, stop trying. But I bought them. I have them. I drank them. And but I just remember back, 22, 23 years ago, just going in there and seeing that on the shelf and just the excitement. You never can replicate that, though. It's like when you have that first excitement, you can never replicate it. When I looked on that shelf and I said, that's St. Ides Gold. Well, that was really like the peak. You don't ever come back and replicate the peak. But when I looked on that shelf and I saw those 6-packs of St. Ides Gold, No, I'm not talking about this. I know what the viewers are about to say. Oh, you're talking about St. Ides malt liquor. I'm not talking about that. I got the bottles. I got the cans. I was there. Okay. I'm talking about St. Ides Gold. Hold on a minute. So I was down there on Canal Street in 1996 with Rob, who doesn't care about beer, by the way, aside from drinking it, you know, like a normal person. So I'm down there and I'm like, well, I can tell you the store. Now, do they have stuff down there now that I can't get? They might, because I went down there and bought a beautiful Dixie Hefeweizen glass, like this tall, for like $2.99, $3.99, huge, and I broke it, of course. I'll never live that down. Dixie, great. So we're down there, we're walking around on Canal Street by the French Quarter, not in the French Quarter, but by the French Quarter. I'm like, let's go look in these liquor stores. He's like, okay. So I walk in there, I'm like in control of my emotions and everything, and I look on the shelf and I was like, that don't exist. And I kind of got over it though. But it's been 23 years, and I don't get too. I don't get. Why did I bring this up? I don't get too emotional anymore. But I saw this can and I bought it. I bought it with my money. St. Ides Gold, and when I bought that, I said it's all over now. Now I don't care. I've been to the mountaintop, and this was made in Detroit. This is the old Stroh's. This is the old Stroh's Brewery in Detroit, Michigan. This is St. Ides Gold. All right, get it together. This is St. Ides Gold. I got the can. I bought the 6-pack. I drank the 6-pack. You don't have this. You don't have this can. You won't ever get this can. I know you're getting nervous, but I bought it. It was like there was no way I was leaving that store alive if I didn't have that 6-pack in my hand. He's like, you're going to have to carry it around. I was like, I'll carry it. You think I won't carry a 6-pack of St. Ides Gold? Why wouldn't I carry that all night? Are you crazy? It's like you going to the French Quarter for partying. I'm going to the French Quarter to buy stuff like this so my life can have a lot more enjoyment. Don't hate. Replicate.